Welcome
Yo,
to the real room.
hey,
Welcome to the real room. Welcome to the real room. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
thank y'all so much. So,
Really appreciate it. Y'all forgive me. I need to come before the audience and repent.
oh
Relate because of me.
yeah, it was you this time.
It's not Stanley this time. I was on an assignment and literally just walked through the door. So but nevertheless, let's get started. If you are tuning in for the first time, thank you so much for joining us for Real Talk Live. My name is Colanda,
This is Stanley.
and we are going to be talking about 10 signs of fake nice people. And so, Elder Platt, so I'm going to call you Pastor.
Here we go.
It
Here
is.
we go with that.
Tell us now, where did you get this topic from?
Well, this topic was actually suggested from one of our roomies, as we call them, and they wanted us to talk about fake people in general, just not fake people in the church, but you have fake people in corporate world, you have fake people in education. You always have people that are just fake and phony. And how do we, as believers, handle dealing with fake and phony people? So,
Now,
yeah.
let me ask you a question. Is there grace for people? So when I was thinking about this, I was thinking that maybe there are two different types of fake nice people. Like there are people who are just intentionally not honest or dishonest. They're intentionally trying to
Mhm.
make you believe that there's somebody they're not. And then there are people who are not comfortable being themselves, that they dim their light, they maybe lower their capabilities to just fit in. Is there more grace for one type of fake person versus the other?
I think grace is grace for everybody, whether you fake, phony, real, too real. I think it's all the same level of grace. When something that I'm learning the older I'm getting is when I come in contact with people that I feel that are not genuine and that are being phony, I try to wonder like what is it about them that they're lacking that makes them feel like they have to be this way to be
Mhm.
accepted. Because most people that are fake and phony are really people that are trying to get some level of acceptance. They have some insecurities about themselves, so they feel like they have to be a certain way around certain people so they can get the acceptance. So, what in you is making you feel like you have to be that way? That's a
But
question I just ask.
do you think like I know God gives the same measure of grace, but do you think that as people we should give like I don't give them a little latitude because we know that this person is intentionally being dishonest. They maybe are like succumbing to peer pressure and they're not comfortable being themselves. Do you think as people we should give like grace to one over the other?
I think no. I think you should give. I think, like I said, I think grace is for everybody. But me personally, what I wouldn't give you that level of trust. You know that you had. You would have to definitely earn that back because once what was that movie? Meet the Parents, when he talk about the circle of trust. Once you break the circle of trust, it's really hard to come back. So I wouldn't give you that level of trust, but I still would be gracious enough to be merciful to be like, okay, well, there has to be some reason why this person felt that it was necessary for them to be like this, and knowing good well that it wasn't like that in real life. So,
So I'm gonna put myself out there. I don't.
uh,
I would. I wouldn't say like I was fake nice, but I definitely there was definitely a version of me that was fake, and I feel like all through high school, um,
mm,
I wasn't who I knew I really was because I was so different. I wanted to fit in. And so there were things that I would do to like try to fit in. Like maybe I would try to change my speech. Like I'm trying to use profanity to try to fit in. I'm trying to like act like I listen to the same music when I know good and well my mama didn't have us watching BET or certain things. I'm trying to act like I
mm,
have the same level of freedom like my other classmates. It was to the point like I would make up, and maybe that's why I'm a writer. I would create stories about who I really was, what my experiences were, because I was so different from my friends, and all I wanted to do was like be normal. They would call my mama missionary Lewis, and I hated that they knew my mama was a missionary. I'm like, how do y'all know that? Like, I don't share that, but it's like as much as I was trying to hide who I really was, it was still so like evident that you're different. And so I feel sorry for people who are like that because it's like I understand.
Yeah, I think we all have went through that phase in our life where we were trying to water down or dummy down who we were because we wanted people not to be uncomfortable around us. I mean, I did it for years, especially in the church. I did it, but the crazy thing about it, I did it more in the church than I did with the people in the world.
Mm.
And because people would try to make you think, oh, he think he trying to do this, or he trying to take over, or he trying to be this and that. And I used to really suppress a lot of things that that the Lord was using me in, and not making a big deal about it because I didn't want other people to feel like I was trying to do something. And that is a form of being fake and phony, because that's really not who you are, and you're putting yourself in misery just so somebody in misery can feel better about their misery. Ain't that something?
Wow. So you were you were hiding like your gifts.
Hmm. I would do that a lot, especially when I was younger, especially when I was a lot younger. When I was like in my late teens, early 20s, like right out of high school, that's when I was just like, phew. But when I got around certain people, and honestly, there was a level of humility, but it was also a level of trying to protect another person's feelings about how God was using me. So
Right.
yeah, God had to free me from that, and I was, I would really water completely down just so other people wouldn't assume that I was trying to be something that I wasn't, and I wasn't. That's just how it was. So, but when it came to my friends outside the church, they knew I was saved, and they knew that there was certain things that I wasn't and was going to do, but I never felt the need to put on around them. I kind of felt the need to put more so around on with church people. To be honest,
Mm.
that's just me.
I've I've never heard anybody say that before, and that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
but it's a true reality though, because from a ministry perspective, you have a lot of people, especially in the younger generation. Everybody's trying to reach a certain level of notoriety. So everything you do, monitor everything you do, how you dress, how you carry yourself, who you marry, what ministry you're a part of. Everything is pretty much, you're trying to create an image. You're trying to create and truth be told, that's not really you. It's not really you. But I'm so, this season in my life, in these last few years, I am so free in God to like none of that stuff. It never really mattered to me, but it like really, really, really doesn't matter to me now. It's just water under a bridge.
Yeah, I get that. I was just telling my mom that I feel like right now, because I am not a member of a church, that I do experience more freedom now, and I'm a little not scared, but I'm like thinking about what it's going to be like when I do join a ministry, and then now my gift is not like now my gift has to be accountable to somebody else who may have like a different opinion. But I get that sense in trying to water down what you can do because you don't want to stand out amongst your friends. Like
Mm-hmm.
ever since Pastor Scales called me out on the Real Room,
Mm-hmm.
that Monday, that Friday, he talked to me again. He spoke to me again.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday in church, Stanley, I was at a whole nother church and I got called up on stage and the Lord spoke to me again. So at this point, I'm like, Lord, I'm about to go back to online services because I'm tired of you. Don't stop talking to me
Because you ain't being obedient. That's why I got to keep calling
so
you out.
much. But see, I think it kind of goes back to what you're saying, like Lord, you embarrassing me. You putting me out, like you putting the spotlight on me, and all I want to do is be normal. Like call out my friends.
Yeah, call them out.
Have Stanley go on the stage
Oh,
and
don't call me out. No, don't do
he let it be. I'm gonna ask Pastor Scales next time we have 5 o'clock
No,
service.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
ma'am.
say
And I'm gonna walk right out. That's what I said in the car.
somebody in this area needs a
No,
word.
and I'm gonna walk right in. I'm gonna walk right out that door. Like, nope. Well, no, but I know how that feels. Like I said, as a younger preacher at that time, and then I got ordained as an elder when I was 26. That's still young. So, you know,
Yes.
that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of living up to. That's a lot of everybody watching. That's a lot of pressure for a 26-year-old. And and then it just comes to a point. I think that was somebody I heard say this. But they were saying the thing about being fake and phony, what you forget is one day the real you is gonna come out. Everybody gonna forget about this fake person you've been all these years and remember this real person. And I've learned, just be yourself. None of that. It's okay. You may not be the who's who or whatever, but just be yourself. You don't need to be. You don't have to be fake for God to do something in your life.
What does it mean when we are more concerned about how people perceive us that we change who we know we are supposed to be or who we are?
What you did, you made them your God. They're your God. When you change who you are to please people, then people are your God, and you put God on the back burner.
So it's like their approval is more important than what the Lord has
And
asked.
what the Lord has said. Exactly. How they feel,
I'm gonna
how
have
they
to go back to
perceive you,
online services.
how they do that. Exactly. I mean, it's a hard reality. When God's hand is on you, He doesn't give you. You could throw every excuse at Him, and God knew all of your excuses when He called you. So and God knew your imperfections. God knew you was jacked up. God knew where you came from. God knew what He had to pull you out of, and all of that. And so, what you got to realize is that, and we all do, is that you can't get out of it. It don't matter. Like, it don't matter what you do. Like, I done tried to do some stuff that when people can look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, he can't never preach to me no more." I've done things on purpose just so people can say he can't preach to me no more, and they still would come to me and be like, "Hey man, I just need some prayer, man." I'll be like, "Oh,
Did you just hear about what I did? I'm not qualified no more."
You ain't just hear about like, but when His hand is on you, it's on you. So and when you do that, to water yourself down or to suppress who you are, you're giving man power over what God has called. You're pretty much giving your gift to man and not to God. So it's sad reality, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you're not even intentionally trying to make them an idol. It's kind of like what the message was about on Sunday. It was like, these are the people I have to live with, though, Lord. Like, you're asking me to do this hard thing, but these are the people who I have to live with every day. These are the people who I see. These are the people who I interact with. And you're shining a light on me. And in exchange, you're saying, I want you in that spotlight. I want you to do exactly what I asked you to do, even if they talk about you, even if they decide they don't want to be connected to you anymore. And I think some of us look at it and say, I don't think it's really worth the sacrifice of me losing everybody in my life. And so we just decide to dumb down who we are.
Yeah, and it's sad. Like, I put this on Facebook. Ain't nobody like my post. I said this, but I said it's very surprising what people to deal with just so they don't want just so they won't be lonely. Like, the stuff that you would put up with just so you won't be lonely. You can be fake and phony, but if it keeps you company, you're willing to do that just so you won't be lonely. But you're never lonely when you have God. God has seen you friends. God has seen you genuine people. And I'm learning, like, even the friendships that I have in my life, me and my bros, we go in on each other. We laugh, we joke. We're not intimidated of each other. We're not jealous. We're not trying to, put on for each other and none of that. We just keep it real with each other. And that's just how it is. But I don't think if we were fake, then friendship wouldn't have lasted that long. Because I can't, me personally, it's like I can just sense fakeness a mile away. And it's like when I know you're being fake and phony, I can't even fake laugh at your jokes. I'll just be like, I just be looking like I can't help it. So I'm just that type of person. If I don't do you, I just don't do you, and it is what it is. And I try to be nice and respectful to everybody, but I'm just not called to everybody, and it's okay.
So I'm gonna give y'all 10 signs. I'm gonna probably give you a bonus one. Some of these hurt me, so they may cut you too. Um, number 10, well, we'll say like number 11. Um, fake nice people are scared of failure.
Mm,
Genuine, genuine people accept that failure is a possibility. But a fake person may like intentionally sign up for like low level classes so that they can achieve, you know, so that they can get an A or so that they can pass, knowing that it's not challenging. They needed something more difficult, but because they don't want to fail, they intentionally sign up for things at a lower level instead of doing things that are more challenging.
mm. That was a good one.
That one kind of hurt because
That
I
does
think
hurt.
because I think we think like, well, isn't it in my best interest, Lord, to show that I'm good at things? So like to take advantage of courses that I know I can pass, opportunities that I know I'm already good at, I don't really have to work hard at, but it really at the root is a fear of failure.
Mm. That's deep.
Um Also with fear of failure, genuine people look for opportunities to advance. Fake people that are content right where they are because again, that fear of failure. So
Ooh, that's a heavy one. I went to prayer tonight, and that was one of the topics that he really, really dealt with.
mm,
So that's a deep one. And now that you say that, you can all of us can reflect back in our life at a time where we did not do anything because we were afraid we were going to fail, because we didn't want people to make us into being a failure.
or to know we failed, or
Mm-hmm.
you know how many like adults don't have, like for example, their permanent license because they were afraid to take the driver's test again because maybe they failed. I've had like
I know
a lot,
people personally that has never driven a car before.
or people who have like had to take the bar several times because they
Mm-hmm.
failed.
And it's
Yeah.
okay. Like I'm like, for instance, I'm in school, and yay me, I'm in school, and one of the classes that I was taking, I was kind of like, you know what, I can't do this, and it was past the withdrawal date and all of that, and I was like,
You
I
was
don't,
thinking about it. You was thinking
I
about taking
really
that
thought, and
L.
I had to think about it. Is it worth me spending the rest of the night stressing out over? It got so bad, my head was hurting. I literally felt like I was about to have a brain aneurysm or something. And because I'm trying to complete all of this work, all of these assignments, and do this and do that, and is it worth me? Like, if I like, what's the worst that could happen? Then I thought about it. I said, you know what? If you get a degree, them people ain't gonna be looking to see. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Your coursework to see what. Let me
yeah.
see your
Like,
transcript to
why
see
am I
what grades you
stressing out?
got.
Thank God, and then I kind of had to relax and fall back a little bit. I didn't get the grade I wanted, but I got a passing grade in it. Praise the Lord. However, I thought about that thing like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? If I fail a course, I fail a course. Guess what? I'm gonna just take the class again,
Yeah.
get a better grade. It's gonna follow transcript, and bam. But it ain't nothing to be stressed out about. I don't have nothing to prove to nobody.
Yep. So
Hmm.
number 10, fake people cannot handle criticism. They they often get offended by constructive criticism. Um, so, for example, if they make a mistake, they may deny that they didn't do anything wrong. Or if, like, you're trying to get some criticism about something that they do, perhaps if it's constructive, they will tell you you don't know what you're talking about, because they can't handle the criticism.
Mm. Want to know why? Because the criticism is for the fake person that you claim to be. And when you realize that's not who really you are, you get mad because you can't live up to what you portrayed yourself to be. And the criticism holds you accountable to the fakeness of who you were.
Yeah.
Mm. Woo! That's a good one. Where you get this
Number
stuff from? You read a book or something? Or you made it?
no, I did some research.
Oh, okay. Pardon me.
Number 9,
Mm-hmm.
fake people will not give a real apology.
Yeah, they never do.
It's often insincere, and that leaves you feeling worse than what you did before you all had the conversation. And even if they won't apologize, they may imply that they have already apologized before. Like, it's like if you're talking to a person, you're trying to tell them how they offended you, and they're like, "Well, we already talked about this once. Why are we talking about this again?" Because they don't want to apologize, or they say, "I'm sorry, but I think you're overreacting." But they negate their apology with something, or they look for ways to avoid the consequences of their action. That's also like a sign of a narcissistic person who cannot apologize. Too.
That's so prideful. Because I think apologizing means you have to acknowledge. That goes back to number 11, the fear of failure. So you have to acknowledge that you failed in the area, and that requires for you to apologize because you know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably, that's why that ties in together, I think. That's good.
Number 8, fake people are not consistent. They find they find it difficult to focus on just one thing. So like they may join a bunch of different ministries, clubs, things just to say that they're a part of these things, but they don't actually put any effort into what they're a part of. They're on the membership, they're on the committee, but they don't do anything. Or maybe they're always canceling plans.
The season always changing.
They miss a lot of deadlines. They miss a lot of important commitments. They can't be, counted on when it's time, when they need to, you need them. They always come up with excuses, or the reason why I didn't do what I was supposed to do is because they didn't, whatever. They always pass the responsibility off to somebody else because they can't be consistent.
I know a lot of people like that.
And you know what? I think we are now hiding behind the fact that, well, I'm multi-talented. I know how to multitask.
No, you don't.
That's a good question. Is fake equivalent to not real?
I would say yes. I would say yes.
And I think this is how, with these signs, maybe how we need to judge some of our relationships, our friendships, associations. If you have a friend who is not consistent, I would question if they really are a friend. And that leads to number 6, number 7, that they're fickle. Like they're not there through thick and thin. Like you may always be there for them when they're in crisis, but they cannot be found. Like you get in a discussion, like say you married, you get in a disagreement with your husband, and now this person can't be found for you to ask for advice. Or they also may talk about you behind your back.
I know people that are best friends with people like that. Like on camera, at church, I got you, you my bro, you my sis, I'm ride or die. But
I've told people
behind closed doors, they talking about y'all like a dog.
I have told people, if I know that you hang out with somebody and y'all always hanging out, they put up y'all pictures that y'all hanging out, but I hear that they have participated in a sideline conversation talking about you. I have told a person before in church, hey sis, you may want to be careful about such and such because I'm not.
Do you feel like
in
that
this
was your conversation? Place to tell
them? Huh?
Do you feel like that was your place to tell them no?
I don't know. I can't say that the Lord told me. I just didn't like the idea of this particular person being taken advantage of because they were a good person. In my opinion, they were sweet, and I feel like their kindness was being taken advantage of.
Okay.
So I told them, but she surprised me. She said, I already know who they are. So I was like, oh. So you're
friends with them?
I don't think they were friends. I think I thought they were friends because like maybe she went out to eat with them. But she was like, I already know who they are. So I was like, oh, okay. Good for you then.
I'm telling you, I know people that will, hi sweetie, hi baby, hey what's up sis,
We'll be
and
talking
I'm
about
telling you, and will talk about you like a dog. And I've learned, like the Bible says, you mark them and you avoid them. You ain't got to say nothing, just take notes.
ever since I ever
Get
heard
away from
Bishop Hall use that, I ain't never been so free because we have been raised to be cordial, to be kind, to speak to everybody, and not necessarily like be cordial, but be aware, like watch and pray. It was just like it was courteous to speak and try to like be cordial and form relationships, but we weren't necessarily taught to. But mark them, like know who you're talking to when you're talking to such and such.
Yeah, just make a note of it. Especially like I'll say it a lot of times in ministry. You have preachers. They talk about they will talk about a preacher like a dog behind closed doors, and then if that preacher called them come preach at their church, they will go and preach at their church.
Yeah,
and get right at there. This is my brother in the Lord, and I'm just so honored to be here. And my spiritual father, my spiritual mother, and y'all talking about each other like a dog. I'll leave it though, because I'm about to
you're
stop
right.
bookings. So.
You calling everybody out. That leads to number 6. Fake people spread rumors. They believe that they become more popular by putting other people down. So by me knowing more information or having the latest news makes me more popular. So they'll spread rumors.
And why do they have to be the first one to put it out there? What is it an award you get when you're the first one to come out with the news?
I don't know. I guess you feel like you get like some recognition as, yep, Kalanda told me. That's exactly what Kalanda said. Like, I guess you get some type of satisfaction in like, I don't know. But they'll spread, fake people will spread rumors even if they're not true, just to manipulate people to doing what they want them to
do. That's a good one.
And I think we need to take more notice, like if we have friends, people, if we're calling friends who are always bringing us stuff, about people that you don't even really talk to or like you don't really know, then I think this is what we talked about in 5 o'clock service the other week, was that we have to be mindful, like if they bringing you stuff, then they probably taking what you're saying back to other groups, and other that you're not a part of.
Exactly. You don't know what group chats they're a part of that you.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be mindful. You really, and I'm learning, I used to be the type person just to give people opportunities and chances and stuff like that. And I still do in some sense because that's what Jesus did for me. However, I don't put myself in a position when I see certain things getting ready to repeat to another individual. I don't put myself in that position to be taken advantage of again. So I've learned, I've learned.
That's good.
But if they do spread rumors, I know that for a fact.
Okay, this one gonna hurt.
Uh-oh.
Because we don't think nothing wrong with this, but fake people are always surrounded by a clique.
Yeah, that's y'all.
Being around other people gives them a sense of control. So you'll find them typically at the center of attention during a conversation. They may, like, again, goes back to those rumors, spark some type of outrage to boost how they're seen in other people's eyes. They act as like the leader of the group, and try to like pressure people into listening to what they have to say, accepting their opinions, so that instead of giving everybody else an opportunity to like have their own voice, they want to be like the voice of this clique.
Mm-hmm.
And they travel in packs. I be seeing y'all in church services and stuff. And one of them,
that be mainly y'all women that be in cliques, though. Guys,
no, men have cliques.
We'll
Men have cliques with men and women in it. It's a few in Jacksonville. Don't matter where such and such is speaking or singing at. He has a following, even if he does not have the lifestyle to go with the ministry that he is conducting or performing. He has a following.
But though, I've never been, and and this is contrary to popular belief, but I've never been the type to be in cliques because I didn't like to see people being feeling like they couldn't come near me because I was around a certain individual. I was like that in high school. Like I could be friends with anybody as long as you ain't crazy and got mental problems and all that. Like I'm not that type of person. Like, get away from me. You're not my. So when I feel like I'm in a clique, then I start shutting down and drawing away from the clique. That's just me though.
I think you do get a bad rap for that.
I do. There are people that actually think like, oh, Santa be. There are people that really believe that, but it's not. It's never intentional. Like I'm never intentional in a clique. Like I'm always hanging out with a different person, or they don't see that part. They don't see that part. They just see you just see me around familiar faces. But I get it. Some people like their cliques, but me personally, if I am in a clique, it wasn't intentional for me to be in one. And then the people that's in my quote unquote clique, they'll tell you, man, he always trying to invite people. He always trying to include. That's just me though. So
I think you bring up a good point that sometimes it can look like people are a part of cliques, but it could be that your personality is so charismatic, it's so like magnetic that people want to be around you. And then in those instances, those are the people that you have to be mindful about because it's like, why are you here? Who
yeah,
sent you?
that's true. That is very true. That is very true. So,
but you're a celebrity in church culture, so that's why yes,
I'm not.
Stanley, elders are celebrities. Elders and musicians. See, I don't even know about praise and worship leaders unless it's a man.
You have elders that are. I am not a celebrity at the church. No,
you are. If you're tuning in, y'all let me know if you agree. Stanley is a celebrity among millennials in ministry in Jacksonville. You are a celebrity.
I promise y'all, I am so low key.
You may not want to be, but you are a celebrity.
These people don't.
Stanley, people go to church and don't even come and sit where they want to sit. They want to sit near you.
That is not true. That is not true. That is not true.
Can't say what I want to say because I be putting somebody out.
People come to church and sit there. Oh, that ain't true. No.
Think about our seating arrangements.
See, now people gonna be looking at that. Is not true. I am no.
Stanley, you're a celebrity.
No, I'm not gonna lie. There are people that have told me that over and over again, but I'm not saying it to try to act humble or anything, but I'm not arrogant. But I'm serious. Like I really don't see it. Like I just don't see it. I don't feel
I think it's just because you're trying to be yourself, but people are drawn to that, and they want to be around you.
Don't be around me.
Well, I guess your responsibility just got to be like, who sent you?
Especially
what you want.
Leave me be.
That's another thing. They be around you, but they don't be doing what you're doing.
Because I'm going there.
Because Stanley be getting his. They don't be doing. Right. You're too close to it. You cannot see it.
I don't see it. I really don't see it.
You better listen to the woman of God.
I don't really. But honestly, and if I feel like, now I'm the type, if I feel like it's getting into that direction, then I draw back. I don't need nobody do not follow me. Follow Jesus.
But why do you have to draw back? Why can't you have the conversation?
No, I mean,
and say, hey, why are you here?
If I notice that it's a situation where it's constant and it's like you're following me around everywhere, then yeah, I would be like, all right, but just sit by me in church. That ain't no big deal to me. That's not. It's just everybody knows me. When I go visit churches or go to a church, or even sometimes when I go to my own church, I don't sit up front. I always sit either in the back or maybe in the middle if it ain't nowhere else to sit. But
because you need more room to run.
Yeah, I don't do that. But I do. I normally sit in the back. I try not to draw any attention on myself. Or like if my homeboys doing preaching and I just happen to pop up, I make sure I'm in the back. I tell them like, hey, do not acknowledge me. I don't want to hear all that. Thank God for you being here. And everybody turn like I really don't like attention. I really don't, believe it or not.
And the Lord is just calling you to the front.
I really don't. Like, even there are days on the, like when we get on the real room, I'll be like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, we got to get off here because my attention limit is up.
And I know they recognizing you in the
Mm-mm.
city. They be like,
Not really.
you're Stanley Platts.
No. If they recognize me, they need to name that blue bridge after me. That's what I want. Name the bridge after me. I'm that great. I want a bridge name. Change the name to Stanley Black Bridge. That's all I want.
Okay, number 4. Fake people are always trying to please others because they are so desperate to be liked and to be noticed. So, like in a group, they may purposely change their opinion or their beliefs or their thoughts so that they match what the majority is saying, instead of sticking to their own beliefs.
That's a given, though.
You think so?
Fake people are always, yeah, because you got to live up to all of those images that you portraying. That's really not you. So that's a given. I feel like people like that, I just sit back and watch them and just laugh and look at them like it's like, honestly, it look like they just running in a circle, just, you know. And I just sit there and just laugh. Like, oh yeah, I messed that up, didn't I?
Yeah, it's okay. Number 3, they don't really listen. Your conversations with these people go in one ear and out the other.
I done had a few of those, and they'll sit right there. It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but they never really give you their full attention. They act as if they're bored or zoned out when you're talking about yourself or your plans. Or this is a big one, and this is what I hate. That if they know that you're doing something, you're going somewhere, they never bother to ask you how it went. That's like one of my pet peeves. Don't call me talking about something and then sis, that I just got finished doing like an event. You know that I just went out of town. You're not asking me anything about how it's going. You called to talk about what you're doing.
No, I don't like when you call me the day of my event and you didn't call me none during the planning process, and you wait an hour or two before the event and then want to say, hey, you need my help?
You think that's fake?
That is very fake. Because the only reason you want my help now is because I'm having an event and the people are here and you want to be seen like you're a part of something.
So let me ask you something. Is it reasonable to expect that the people who I call friends should be interested in what I'm doing?
I would say yeah, especially if you're interested in what they're doing.
So I should expect them to like ask me about like, how's church girls going? How are the events? How's like whatever I'm doing?
I mean, yeah. Especially if you always ask them about their stuff.
Is it an expectation that they always support in some way, even if they can't attend?
That should be established. Well, that needs to be an establishment. Like, to be honest, guide my tongue, Lord. But to be honest, I had a conversation with a very close friend of mine, and I told him, I said, well, to be honest, I never really expect you to come to things or support things that I have because, you always say you have, obligations. So I don't put that expectation on that particular person. So, and to me personally, it doesn't bother me. And he even said it, he was like, well, I do kind of feel bad sometimes because you always, when I do stuff, you always come through and this and that. And I was like, well, yeah, I get it, but it's like I say, it just depends on that relationship. Now, me personally, my friends they do, in some aspects they do, but they don't, if they don't, I'm not really like upset about it or anything like that. I don't, but that's just me though. That's just me. So it just depends on the dynamic of that relationship. What was number 3 again?
Right, that's like we didn't add it. They don't listen.
Oh.
And that's unfortunate. It's like, sis, what are you here for? just to
Yeah,
find out what I'm doing.
exactly. It is.
I could get a therapist if I just needed somebody to like tell all my secrets to.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to be here to
I mean,
listen.
yeah, and now that to me that is a problem. You know, when you're pouring out your heart to somebody, and I feel like that's just rude and disrespectful for them to be like that. But if you pouring out your heart to somebody and they not listening to what you got to say and it's going one and out the other, then yeah, don't
It
do that.
says they literally go through the motions of a conversation. What? For real?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Like not
Then they
really
say, call me
actually
tomorrow, we'll talk about it. You call them, they never answer the phone.
they never really ask any in-depth conversations to like show you that they're listening
Because they don't
with
care.
their full. That's what they mean. They're not preoccupied.
And then what might be so sad is they'll take what you said and go tell somebody else about it. How about they called me and told me she on her third one, and that joke ain't married her yet.
Mm.
Well, man, they about to break up. That's what I heard.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they really just listening enough to get in your business so they can share with other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's so sad. It's so sad, especially when I see grown people that's like over 50 that still act like this. Like at what point are we gonna grow up?
That's one of the things my mom taught us growing up is like there are
Mm-hmm.
people who are a friend and then there are people who know how to be a friend and there are people who know how to have friends. And
Mm-hmm.
so perhaps we're expecting people who just know how to have friends to be a friend. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's getting weird. I feel like as we're getting older that we have to talk to grown people about what a friendship is. Like, sis, you can't just keep calling me, telling me about your problems and not give me the space or the opportunity to discuss what's
Mm-hmm.
happening in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that we have to have like those conversations. But
Yeah, you would think at this age, especially when you're in
yeah.
your 30s, like people are more, like there's a level of
Aware. Yeah.
awareness. Like we done did all that in our teenage and 20 years, and now we're in our 30s, and you still like this, like
You're a whole husband, a whole father, mother, and you don't know how to have no friends. Like,
grandparent. It's some messy grandparents in this generation. Like they crazy. It's crazy, and they don't know how to be a friend. They just you can't trust them. You can't trust them. But then they all on Facebook, talking about only God can judge me, and you can count me out, but don't count me down. All that mess. I'm like, man, grow up.
and
Please grow up.
number two, which is this is probably hard too. They are rude and they are hurtful. They make harsh comments without a second thought. And this one, like people who do this especially try to hide it behind sarcasm. Um so like I've been really I know Tisha and I have talked about it, it's like being really intentional, like saying, "Oh girl, I see your look, or I like your look," because
You're good
you
for that.
know, it's really not a compliment. And I feel like the first time I heard it is after I had Makai and we were at church and somebody made a comment about they saw my little baby shower and I didn't have to invite them. And so then I was like, that is not a compliment. She
Mm-hmm.
meant that as like a dig. And so
Yeah.
being more mindful about using things like that
Mm-hmm.
because they can be harsh if the person doesn't really understand like the intent. Um, at some point, we don't need to talk about friendship. The season may be over. That's true.
Going with the wind.
Eh,
That's what I'm going with the wind.
That's true.
Matter of fact,
Uh,
I had a situation a couple of months ago. Somebody sent me a text and sent me this whole 12-page book report text about how
I'm
they
better
feel and
you a
how they did.
4 page.
And I said, all that text back was, okay.
Oh, I know that hurt.
I mean, you
Oh, I
poured
know
your
that
heart
hurt.
out. I heard you, okay. And hey, you don't want to talk about it. You want to send me a text. You say what you had to say. All right. Going with the wind.
It says we need to be mindful when we're talking to people who are like this, who are rude and hurtful. When we leave conversations with them, do they make us feel like we're supported, uplifted, or do they treat us like we're worthless? Do you always feel negative after you have
Mm,
conversations with them? Are you trying to do certain things and they try to steer you in a different direction? Maybe you shouldn't try to do that. Maybe instead you should try to do something else, and
mhm,
then trying to get to the root of their conversation because they may stem from jealousy, and then being mindful that they're never going to hand out compliments to you. They're going to always find a way to say how you should have done something better.
mhm,
Um, so being mindful about,
mhm.
that kind of stuff.
I think we all
Nothing.
did like that before.
Yeah.
And in some cases, there were times where I would say unintentionally, have done that to people.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
what I'm saying. Like when you use little, like it may be like a homegirl term, but in really thinking about it, it's like a dig
it is.
that what you were doing was not
Mhm,
significant enough. Um, yeah.
mhm.
Something as simple as that. So y'all stop using little, telling people you send a little event. I see your little flyer. I see your little business.
I see you got a little
I
thing.
see you. I see your little girlfriend. Yeah. It's like losing what we thought it meant.
Mhm.
It's insulting now.
Yeah, you kind of worried now. It's okay though.
And then the number one thing,
Dun, 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 dun.
they are quick to judge
Woo.
because belittling other people makes their own sense of self, increases their own sense of self, and helps them to feel less threatened by others.
Mm.
So, by digging, picking somebody else's life apart, they feel better about their own selves. Um, so they give backhanded compliments. I seen you pull that little hat up in a ponytail anyway, like like stuff like that. It's not really a compliment. It's a dig. um,
So when y'all walk up to a girl and be like, "Hey, I see your edges growing back," that's a
yeah,
backhand.
that's a dig. That's a backhanded
But
compliment.
yeah, but wouldn't that be a good? Wouldn't that be a good thing?
But see, this is why I have these conversations at work because I work in HR. It really depends on the relationship. Since you can't say nothing to me about my edges and we are not friends because I'm going to take it as you trying to be funny. Yeah, it's not a compliment. Um.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's great. It's about time you got rid of that old car. Like
Mm-hmm.
those are not compliments.
Mm-hmm.
Um. These people who are quick to judge also are very passive aggressive or make passive aggressive statements
Mm-hmm.
um, about your life, your dating life, your outfit. I'm gonna put somebody on blast. Girl, you shouldn't have wore that to work, church. You know better than that. You know, stuff like that.
I
Don't
get it,
really have a relationship with you, but passing judgment about what you do, how you spoke.
and
Um,
I also I don't only feel like that's fake, but I feel like that's lazy too. Because instead of you just trying to
mm,
get to spend time to get an understanding of the
no,
person,
yeah, that's
you
good.
just automatically label them and you keep moving. That's lazy. So yeah, y'all gotta stop.
Now, if we do that as believers, quick to judge, does that make us a fake person or a fake Christian?
Ooh. It can make you a fake Christian. Well, no, it won't make you a fake Christian, but it can make you a fake follower. Because, a Christian is just believing in Christ, but, anybody can believe in him, but the real test is when you follow him. So a lot of times, it could make you a fake follower of Christ. You may not be. Somebody just quoted this scripture today on Facebook. We heard it so many times in church, especially if you grew up in a Pentecostal church. Hebrews 12:14. Follow peace with all men and
Without
holiness
it.
without which no man shall see the Lord.
Mhm.
Right? But the first part of that is follow peace with all men, comma, holiness without which no man shall see the Lord. But everybody quoted holiness without which no man shall see the Lord. Holiness without which no man shall see the Lord.
I
But
forgot to follow peace.
thank you. You forgot about follow peace.
I'm gonna have to
So
do
how
that
can you
one.
be holy and not peaceful with all men? Holiness without peace no man shall see the Lord. So, yeah,
They said the holiness was really the important part.
that was. But you can't be holy and not be peaceable with people. That's another scripture that says in Titus, the God of all grace teaching us to deny worldly lust. We should live soberly, justly, and peaceably.
Oh man, yeah.
So always stirring up mess, always stirring up confusion, and you want to heat outside in church every Sunday. No, God is not pleased. That's
you,
holy.
you want to heat the outside.
I'm saying they be heating outside. And you be like, you were just gossiping about this person. But while you was walking in the door of the church. So yeah, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there, saints. But it's the truth though. So we gotta just stop being so quick to judge and stop stirring up so much wrath amongst each other. And you know you don't like them. And it's the crazy thing. I'm the type of person, this is me. If I don't do you, I don't do you. That's just me. Now that don't mean I'm finna be nasty and treat you any kind of way. But if I see you, hey, how you doing? God bless you, this and that. I'll pray with you and everything. But if we not close like that and tight like that, we just not. That ain't it. Now that don't mean I'm being fake or phony, but I'm not finna sit up here and give you the assumption that we're close and we cool like that, and we're really not. So yeah, we gotta follow peace with all men. So,
that's what the words say.
Think about it. I can do everything right and live holy, and if I can't keep peaceable with people, then I won't see Jesus. That's heavy, ain't it? So that tells me you got a better chance of missing God. Let me stop, because last time I said this, they got mad at me.
But it's true. That's what the word say. It said, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Peaceable with men. No man shall see the Lord.
And I think we saying, oh, he mean without holiness, nobody should see the Lord.
No.
He mean peace.
That is holiness. How you treat people is holiness. People don't really I don't think a lot of people really grasp that. Like, I think if we did, we wouldn't see so many fake Christians. We wouldn't see so many fake leaders in the church. We wouldn't see fake people on our jobs. Some of the fake employees that we have to deal with are the ones that's confessing Christ, white and black. All races. It's the truth. They'll sit right there.
It'll be the saints at work.
Stir up so much. If you work in a call center before, the number one customers you get are the Christians, and they'll cuss you out and everything about their bills. Treat all kind of way. Like, you the one created the debt. I want to call you to get you to pay it.
And it's the atheist asking, how's your day going?
Exactly. God bless you. The atheist, God bless you. No lie, I'm gonna say this, and I know we gotta go. I'm gonna say this. I remember one time, this is years ago. Rest in peace to my Maybach. I just laid my Maybach to rest last week. God. Y'all, I'm still hurt by that.
They had a whole service and everything.
Oh my God, y'all don't understand. I had that car 10 years. And anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I get emotional. But anyway, one day I was in my Maybach and I was going to work and I didn't have no money. This was years ago. I didn't have no money. And so I was like, oh God, I don't got enough gas to get to work. I ain't got no gas to get back home. And I went to work and everything, got ready to leave the job, and waited for everybody to leave before I left the parking lot because I was too embarrassed. I didn't know if my car was going to crank or not. So I'm driving, coming back to getting on Southside Boulevard, and out of nowhere, bloop, car just gave out of gas. Bloop. And I was like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. So I'm getting out the car, put the car in neutral, pushing it, to the nearest gas kangaroo. So this guy came, this white guy jumped out his truck, pushed me, helped me. He was like, get in the car and I'll push. Pushed me all the way to the gas station. I'm like, okay, thank you, Lord. Praise you, Jesus. So got to the gas station. I'm like, well, let me see if I got some change here just to get enough gas to get home. The dude was like, what happened? I said, I just ran out of gas. He's like, don't worry about it. I got you. He said, here. He swiped his card in the machine and filled my tank up. Like, filled it up, right? I was like, man, thank you. So I said, man, the Lord must be sent you here. That man told me, he said, I don't know about that. He said, but he said, I don't think he sent me here. I'm not a believer. I was just doing it just to be a nice person. I was like, wow. And then, so, it kind of opened up a door, for me to witness to him. Of course I did. But still, though, it was like, this man ain't even professing Christ and ain't trying to win no soul or none of that. He just saw that I was broke down, saw I needed gas, and filled the tank up. Like, ain't give me no $10 or nothing like that. Filled the tank completely up. So, I'm just saying, you got saints that would have drove by and been like, nah, that's a shame.
God bless him.
God bless him.
Send somebody to help him, Lord.
Yes, somebody, Lord. Touch him, Lord. Just saying. Follow peace with all men. That's what follow peace. So, hey, I'm just saying. So, we got to do a better job of how we treat people. It's really sad. It's really sad. I mean, it is in the work sector. I see it. You got employees that'll kiss up to the boss and then talk about the boss like a dog in the break room. They got an email chain, or they using that Microsoft Teams, posting their stuff during the meetings. Like,
You're
let's
right.
just stop.
All in the Zoom chat.
All in this, be texting while y'all on the Zoom chat.
Yeah.
That's why y'all mad. Everybody got to go back to the office now. That's why they mad, because they can't talk their trash like they used to. But it happens, and I get it. Like, there are some people, I feel like that's just they just miserable when they live like that. There's no peace in that. There's really no peace in that. Or is it?
No peace.
No peace in that. I know somebody right now that go around telling everybody, man, that's my brother, man. That's my dog. That's my brother. About me. And people come back to me and be like, ain't you such? We ain't that. No.
Oh, wow.
Like, we cool. And I'm like, I wish they quit telling people that. I don't need to be associated with you. Your name is tarnished. You're going
to have to call them and tell them to stop using my name.
Stop dropping my name, baby. No. And I got no great name anyway for you to be dropping around here. People no, stop that. Dude. People get your name, they hold their heads down. Don't do that.
Oh my.
Don't do that. God ain't pleased, y'all.
That's good.
That's a good topic, though. This is very it's very needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very needed. I think we've all been nice fake before.
Oh yeah. Even unintentionally, intentionally. Yeah. Definitely.
It happens.
You have any announcements, Elder Platts?
Yes, I do. I told everybody that we was pushing back the young preachers seminar to September. The dates for that is September hold on, y'all, because I just secured a location today, so that's what was one of the dates for that will be September 23rd and 24th. If you are interested in being a part, so far as help, volunteer. If you are interested in volunteering, you can send us an email to shakersmovement@gmail.com. We're getting ready to have a Zoom meeting to try to finalize the details and work out the logistics on what we're trying to do. And I think this is something that's going to be very huge in the city. It's a 2-day event. There will be a registration. And if you know anything about me,
through these doors.
Yeah, faith won't get you through these. But if you know anything about me, there will be food provided. We will feed you with your registration. But again, it's just going to be a good 2-day event. Every preacher under the age of 40, if you feel like God has called you, if you know that God has called you, even if you're just looking for a spiritual father,
Yeah.
And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're male or woman. Come and be a part of this. But again, if you want to be a part of to volunteer to help us out, be some hands to get the work done, send an email to shakersmovement@gmail.com. And if you can't do that, just send a message, DM us on Instagram at We Are Shakers on Instagram, or you can go to the Shakers Facebook page as well. So it's going to be nice. But put those dates out there. September the
23rd.
what I said, 23rd and 24th. It'll be a Friday evening. and a Saturday morning brunch. So it's gonna be nice. I promise y'all, it's gonna be nice. We haven't done that major in a few years now, so this is gonna be the
Okay,
first.
got all the coins together.
Yeah,
So it's gonna
yeah.
be
And if you're
good.
interested in, if you're a business owner, let me say this too. You're a business owner and you want to, put a table and display your business or your brands or whatever. There are going to be a lot of pastors there, so come send us an email first. Pop up at the table. Email first, and let us know what you let us know, and yeah, we'll work some things out for you. We got you.
Pop up with your table.
Don't pop it with your table. Tell me that never said come because that's not what I said. I said send an email. But we are open to vendors. I don't want to say vendors, but we are open to that want to come and display their individual projects, community service projects or outreach organizations, stuff like that. Not necessarily the church, but things that churches can be a part of, daycares, whatever you got. If you want to, just send us an email to shakersmovement@gmail.com and somebody will be in contact with you shortly.
What is your vendor fee?
That's why they got to send an email. I
Okay.
don't want to put that out there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you are planning on selling something, yeah, there will be a vendor fee. It's only right. It's only right. But if you're not coming to sell,
If you're a vendor, there's a vendor fee.
yeah, okay, yeah, fine. Y'all already on the room. We ain't gonna knock your head off. We'll make sure you make your fee money back at least.
Yeah.
And if your stuff don't sell, don't say it went because of me.
Just for providing the platform.
Yeah,
There's a vendor fee.
This is gonna be a huge event. This is something that we was actually supposed to do a few years ago, and the Lord just won't let me shake it. So I've been trying to get out of this for a while, but it's something that has to be done. So
thank God for your obedience.
I know, and my answer is yes, Lord, yes. But I told God, don't ask me to do nothing else after this. Give me some time to. I gotta
we
work.
was just talking about that tonight. I was asking my mom and sister, like, tell me about a time in the Bible where the Lord has given instruction and He gave them time to process what He asked. And my mom was like, "That's the whole point. When He asks you to do something, He wants you to do it quickly."
And this thing keep coming back around. I made a call today about something. I said, "Okay, well, if this don't work, then good. I don't have to do something." Sure enough, the person was like, "Oh yeah, y'all can come. Ain't no issue. Y'all got it up."
See. That's how you don't want the man of God to say something to you because He's going to give you the same word. There's a deadline that you keep extending. Put your hands up. And the Lord has been giving you grace.
Let me But what was so funny, I'm going to show y'all this. I have my little book.
He was talking to both of us.
Like 10 years. And I went back and read some stuff in here. I was like, wow. And this was actually in my little book. A friend of mine told me a long time ago, get a book and write all your visions down. And everything I've done in ministry has came to pass out of my book. And this is the only thing that has not yet, and that's because I keep pushing it back.
So there is a group of young preachers
I don't want to hear that.
who are waiting to hear your voice.
No, I don't want to hear that. No.
And you keep trying to be in the back line, but God has called you to the front.
I like being in the back. I'm a pusher, not a puller. That's me. I push anybody to their potential, but do not. A lot of people don't know this. Like, I'm gonna say this. I wasn't gonna tell nobody this, but I got an engagement for the first time in a long time coming up this month, and I tried so hard to find every reason for that pastor to tell me no.
Why you ain't? Where you gonna be at?
I ain't telling him. No. I'll tell y'all after the fact. I gotta see if I still got it. I'll be cold there and I'll be embarrassed.
It's the anointing, but you mean you still got it. We're gonna find out and we'll share with y'all.
No, we're not, y'all. Just keep me lifted. It's a process for me right now.
Yeah, let's pray for the spirit of obedience.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna tell my testimony. I'm gonna tell y'all.
Yeah.
Come back. When I fully come back, when I get back in commission.
Bless them, Lord. Give them an obedient spirit.
What you got coming up?
Oh, the religious detox is back. If you are a woman of faith and you have you're finding that you limit yourself, you've been holding yourself back, or you've been dimming your light because of some of the things that you believe or you have been taught, then the religious detox, I created it to help us to rebuild our faith, reignite our purpose, and reimagine the way that we see church. I was telling somebody yesterday the reason why I created it is because I was in college when I realized that salvation was not the only goal, that God had a specific purpose for my life. And then I know I've met countless women of faith who have like similar stories. I just don't believe that we should be in church all these years and not know what God wants us to do with our life. And so it's like my personal mission to help you, sis,
And this is
to
for women.
discover what that is. Huh?
This is only for women.
I mean, I guess men could be in there. I probably would do like a different cohort for them.
Guys, they don't in their Bible study. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my ministry is for women. So yeah, I mean,
we gotta be in y'all little Bible study group.
So yeah, maybe the Lord will like open it up for me, because there's a lot of, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna log us off. It's a lot of preaching pastors who currently need to go through a religious detox. Because when your life doesn't look like what you say you believe, it's got to be some religion in it. You know,
I want to encourage that. I feel like if you are a pastor or a preacher on some level, now I don't believe that all pastors have to go to seminary.
Right.
But find yourself in a place where you can learn more than what you've been taught. Because
I think that's good.
Because even by me being in school, I had to take a religion class, and I'm not even majoring anything near religion, but I have to take one. And in that class, I'm going into class with the mindset of with this Kojic elder mindset and getting F's on tests.
Right.
That ain't what
you need a more worldview.
They're like, hold on, let me do that test. Let me do that.
Right.
So I had to go back and read and really research and be like, oh, so this is what Luke meant. This is what Mark meant. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean you're ignorant or you're illiterate, but there's just a depth. There's a deeper depth that God can call you to.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to encourage people, please, if you even if you can't afford to go to school, every preacher got a friend that preached that went to college, that went to seminary. Talk to them. I do it all the time.
The Bible is meant to be studied. It's a piece of literature.
Yeah.
It's meant to be studied. It's not meant to be taken. All the scriptures aren't meant to be taken so literally. Like it's meant for you to dig deep and to get a better understanding. So if you want to be a part of that, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say it. Go to my Facebook page and somebody tagged me in something. I have a previous student who was like, if anybody want to be a part, I'll like pitch in on the registration. So if you're interested, just send me a message and let me know. Okay. And with that, that's all I have. You, Pastor?
I'm out.
Okay.
I did my semester yesterday, so my brain needs to rest.
All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in next time. Until then, this is Real Room.